Good morning, guys. Can you hear me? You can't hear me? Anyone else who can't hear me? I see what you did there. You can only hear the sound of Bitcoin? Yeah. Looks like pretty much everything is gapping up today. Pretty nice. And DraftKings started working. I was literally pennies away from getting stopped out yesterday. And then it turned around. Sometimes breakouts do that. They fall back into the range, build higher low, and then they launch. But I do wish I had bought Shopify, man. Oh, that one was straight up. This 1090s or 1100, like that was the entry for it. And then it went straight up. And Mara is now a triple from my initial entry. And a double from my re-entry. Oh, GBTC, I think I need to sell some pre-market here. This is a big move. I'm just scaling out tiny bits here and there. Short squeeze. They're going up. It's not a short squeeze. Just because the stock is going up, it's not a short squeeze. They're just momentum stocks. That's it. Short squeezes are very rare. Very rare. When will the shorts go extinct? Never. Because shorting is very profitable. Doing it right. When will going long go extinct? Appen was a short squeeze. How do you reckon? Looks just like a regular momentum stock. Guys, you have to understand, just because a stock is going straight up doesn't mean it's shorts buying. It's usually longs buying. Shorts are a very small part of the market. Shorts are like 1% of the stock market. And yes, some individual stocks, they can be higher. They can be double digit, but people are calling this and that a short squeeze. They're not. Just momentum. It's called momentum. Yeah, Kodak was a short squeeze. Kodak, when I got squeezed. And then there was this GLSI a couple of days ago. Or like last week. That was also insane. Exactly. People think Tesla is going up because shorts are getting squeezed. No. Tesla is going up because a lot of funds are buying it. GLSI, it could be, maybe in a few days. These types of setups, I don't know, they usually don't work that well. Sometimes they do. But yeah, maybe in a few days, if it keeps going sideways, could be a good setup. Cross, yeah, it looks decent. It looks decent. It looks pretty. It's getting really tight on the 60-minute. It has these weird wicks. But yeah, I mean, it's an okay setup, I guess. Fisker, I don't see anything here. Adobe, it has ADR of 2.2. Why would you ever want to trade a stock with an ADR of 2.2? Guys, you really need to put the ADR on your platforms. There's no way you should ever get a stock like this in your scans. LI. It's getting tight. It's getting tight. I don't know if it's ready on the long side yet. Maybe one more day. Yeah, NVAX is a maybe setup. BE. But BE looks fine. It did retest the lows of the breakout day, but you know, no one should have gotten stopped out of this thing. It looks fine. It's building higher lows. Same thing with fuel cell too. Just building higher lows. Not all breakouts go straight up. Just look at what happened to DraftKings. Broke out, then fell back into this range. And I was like pennies from getting stopped out, and then it turned around and look at what it did. Kirk. It looks okay. Maybe a few more days. Net. Yeah, again, a few more days. I think the 20 needs to catch up. Airbnb opening range highs, you mean yesterday? It was more of like a day trading setup, I guess. But I don't see like a swing entry in something like this. It's just too early to tell. Like I need a solid. Usually I need a flag. Like I like flags. These types of setups are tough. Yeah, Pinterest looks good. That's probably my main watch on the long side. And then there are some others too. But Pinterest, I guess, is my main watch on the long side. Is CPE ready? It could be. I would prefer the 20-day to catch up. Like this thing has tripled. I think the 20-day needs to catch up. I really do. Wait. Oh. Let's see here. Could FTCH? There's absolutely no setup there. Oh well, actually, nah. I think it's too extended. Like it had a great setup here. You know, when it came out of this solid base, it's already up in the stratosphere. Like, yeah, it's a bullish shiny bounce off the 20, but you know, it's not really my type. I don't think the odds are great. It could work, but it's just focus on the ones that are coming out of solid bases, like solid multi-week, multi-month flags. I think, what the hell is this thing? Merry Christmas to you too, Simpson. Rad episodic pivot. There's no episodic pivot here. Is there any news on it? It's just a continuation breakout. Are there any big news on it? Oh, earnings? I don't say. I wouldn't say this is an episodic pivot. It's just a random gapper. It's, you know, I don't know. BLNK, yeah. It's a strong one. Hey, thanks, R-Cubes. Thanks. A breakout blink and a breakout, I don't know, low 30, maybe high 30s or something. But yeah, the better breakout was on this candle here. On this day here, that was the better breakout. This is more of a continuation breakout. Alright, I'm just gonna go through my portfolio real quick. Move up some stops. And what do we do in a bull market? We trim and trail. We trim and trail. And raise our stops. OBLN for a bounce. No, absolutely not. There is no bouncer. It's gonna be a breakout setup. The bounce setup is over. For a bounce, you need something that's been going straight down for a while. Volume is light, that's good. Stocks go up on light volume. Markets go up on light volume, that's good. Low volume is bullish. Dun, 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 dun. No, I'm not looking at any silver gold names. SLV had a nice range breakout yesterday. If I had any buying power, I would have maybe bought 100,000 shares or something, 150,000 shares. It looks great on the weekly, like absolutely amazing on the weekly, but nope. I'm in a bunch of other stuff. And I'm not really interested in the gold and silver stocks. What the fuck? Okay, Good luck, everyone. Yes, CS looks pretty decent. There's plenty of setups triggering CS, Appen. Pinterest is very close to. How is fuel cell? Well, it looks good. X is a long. I don't see a setup here yet. I don't see a setup here yet. A lot of these basic materials are breaking, like copper, FCX, CLF, but I don't see a good setup in CLF either. FCX has a decent setup, but it's a very slow mover. And also QS is a pretty decent setup. It's one of these hyper quick movers. I still think it goes to 120. Like, I think this is the momentum leader in the market right now. The story is hot enough. One of the hottest stories. Who knows? Sono? Yeah, it had entry 2 days ago. BB is still going sideways in a tight range. That's good. Oh, BB has earnings? Okay. Well, then it's an ignore. Pinterest is triggering now also. But is it a great setup though? I don't know, man. This thing is, looking back, this thing is up like... I don't know if it's a good setup actually. I don't know. It is surfing, it is... I don't know. Yeah, well, I guess it is. It is a good setup. Gotta have to ignore how far it's come, you know. These things can run much more. It is extended, but it doesn't matter since the setup is good. Look at how it's building higher lows. It's clearly showing it wants to go higher. Yeah, exactly. It's a grinder. I don't think it's gonna be straight up type of setup. I think it's gonna be a grinder. You know what? I'm gonna pass on it. You know, better ones. You know, something like Shopify. It's much better. You know, when it's break out on multi-month basis. Those setups are much better than something like this. I have plenty of exposure. There are a bunch of stuff now, so I'm gonna pass on. Wow, things are starting to move now. It's getting to a point where I'm tempted to show P&L again. But, you know, every time I do that, something happens, something bad happens, so I'm not gonna do that. No, please don't do it. No, please, no, 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 don't do it. Okay, guys, I'm gonna show P&L. No, just kidding, I'm not. I'm not gonna show, I'm not going to. Oh God. I promise you guys, I'm not gonna show you P&L. I'm not going to. I got rid of these skills, FEAC. It's not going anywhere. I'm just getting rid of these tiny positions. I got rid of RIG yesterday, and there was some other small one I sold yesterday, I think. I'm gonna focus on my bigger positions. Paya. Yeah, what am I supposed to see here? It's been straight up for a while. LGVW. Yeah, it looks good. Yep. It does look... Actually, it looks pretty good. This is a textbook flag. Textbook flag. This thing breaks out, could go straight to 20. Like I've been saying for the past couple of weeks, like I don't want to have these tiny positions that are only 1 or 1.5% of my equity. Because I already have 21 stocks in my portfolio. I got rid of like 3 or 4 of them past couple of sessions. There's just too many positions to keep an eye on. It's better to just focus on the bigger ones. PLTR looks good on the 60. It does look good. Had a perfect 20-day bounce yesterday, and now it's kind of breaking out of this range here. Yeah, again, I'm kind of maxed out on buying power. No, not really, but I have enough exposure, so I'm gonna pass on a lot of stuff. mRNA, I should probably cover it. It's bouncing off the 20 here. I should probably cover it. Oh, fuel cell straight up. NIO. I don't see anything here right now. It needs to base. It needs to go sideways a bit more. JD. Yeah, JD is avoid this one. Low ADR. I was thinking about buying a shit ton of NXTD yesterday when it broke out of this tight range in a high 80 cent area. It had been building higher lows all day. And then it had this range here. It had enormous volume, hot sector and everything. But again, these low price stocks, the commissions are just incredible. I guess this is the type of day if your favorite stock is not up on the day, it's probably shit. It's like that kind of a day. I mean, everything is just straight up. It's unbelievable. These are the types of scenarios where a sharp shakeout could happen. Like everyone gets super bullish and super long, and then they pull the plug. Kind of have to be aware of that. Now we could be going straight up for several weeks, but you know, something to be aware of. I've seen it too many times. I mean, like, you know, everything is just straight up. Look at this Redfin. It hasn't had a red day in like a month. Like, what the fuck is this? Look at this thing. The past month has been pretty good. One of the best 4-week periods I've seen in my trading career. Top 5 maybe. Pretty epic. Doku finally going. Yep, finally going. I sized down on it yesterday because, you know, free up some buying power because this is one of the slowest movers in my portfolio. But I still have like 80% of the position, or 75. Everything is straight up. mRNA, I'm gonna cover it. It bounced off the 20-day. There is no reason to sit in this thing short. You could very easily go back to 160. Like these 10 and 20, they work so well for momentum stocks. It's almost like cheating. Having using the 10 and the 20-day moving averages on the momentum stocks, it's a little bit like cheating. It's as close to cheating as you can get without doing anything illegal. It's kind of incredible. I can't believe more people haven't figured it out. People are using all these different weird indicators. Some people have like Star Wars in their setups. There's so many lines and things you can't even see the price. You can't even see the price candles. It's unbelievable. The 2010 only in a bull market. FYI, really? Actually, they don't. They work really well in a bear market too. They work really well both in up and downtrends. In bull trends, they act as support, and in bear trends, they act as a resistance. ETH info? You wouldn't have known what otherwise? What about Ethereum? What wouldn't you have known? I don't remember what I said about Ethereum. I know I was gonna buy it this day here, but the volume was non-existent, so I couldn't do it. You're up 60% in the past 4 weeks. That's the way to go. Yes, you're doing it right. Yeah. Everyone should be up 60%. Or at least 30% in the past month. That's a really good job. You're doing things right. Yeah, for the really low price stocks, you probably want a broker that has 0 commissions. Some people use crazy bat indicators. Can you believe that? I do believe in the bat pattern. Exactly, the bat setup. It works 100% of the time. Once you find those times it has worked, it works 100% of the time. Yeah, right, Moist Mango. Unknown market wizards. Like half of the people in the book shouldn't have been in the book. They were just, some random mediocre traders. They were 2/3 of the book was there were no market wizards. It's not like old market wizards. There you had real market wizards, like really like this top, the best of the best. The new unknown market wizards, I don't even want to talk about it. What a letdown. What a letdown. Yeah. Plug, yeah, the whole sector is going. Plug is going, BLDP is going, Fuel Cell is going, BE is going. They're all going. Yep, the whole sector is really strong. The fuel cell. Exactly. The past couple of past 4 to 6 weeks, everyone is a market wizard. Wow, look at this thing. Bitwise 10 crypto index fund. Man, I wish I had bought Shopify yesterday instead of this DraftKings. DraftKings is going nowhere right now. What Shopify is going, and look at the weekly. I mean, this thing. I mean, this thing could easily go to 1500 in the next month or something, 2 months. Yeah, and these are the times like it looks almost it feels like almost unreal, like everything is going straight up like every day pretty much. But this thing, like Nasdaq, we could keep going for several weeks without any pullbacks. If you look at what happened here back in August, the market started accelerating, right? And then it had a sharp pullback. Same thing happened like here, like February before the Corona crash. We kept grinding higher, higher, higher. Every time the market pulled back, it found support on a 10 and a 20 day. The 10 and the 20, those are the key moving averages, right? And then it had a sharp pullback, and obviously because of the Corona fears. And then we also had a similar scenario back in early to 2018. The market just kept going straight up, and then we had a sharp reversal. Like this type of action is what always happens after a straight up market move. The sharp pullbacks. And we're not there yet. Like it's not really extended yet. This time everyone is expecting it? What do you mean? Nothing is different. I don't see anything being different from before. Dun, 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 dun. Laser. I don't see anything here. Overstock. I don't see a setup here. What do you think the market? The market will definitely crash. It's like saying there's gonna be a storm soon. Like it's gonna be rainfall soon. Yes. The market, I can 100% guarantee, and I will be right, the market will crash. I just don't know when, but the market will crash. Guaranteed. I have no idea when it's going to happen, but it will happen. It will happen many more times in our lifetimes. Every 5-10 years there's a market crash on average. Just like every 5-10 years there's a major storm. Well, it depends on where you live, of course. I mean, and remember, a lot of people make a living making these forecasts. Twitter is full of them. Because if you tell people what they want to hear, even if you're wrong 95% of the time, as long as you tell people what they want to hear, they kind of keep coming back. It's kind of a fascinating phenomenon. The prediction business is a very interesting business. How is the market after a crash? The market after a crash is usually very good. Anytime you get a 30, say 20, 30% pullback in a very short amount of time, usually that's the best time to buy stocks. Just look at what happened earlier this year during the Corona crash. The next 5 months were incredible. You could throw a dart and you would double, triple your account just by throwing a dart. That's how easy the market was after the crash. Exactly. And if you're a short-term trader, you should be in cash. Because if the market is downtrending, there's no reason to own any stocks. Exactly. Nvidia, yes, I do think it's setting up, just like Shopify. It's a very slow-moving name, but I mean, this is such a juicy setup. I mean, look at the weekly. It looks so good. Oh my god. I mean, it's unbelievably good. It's high tide flag on the weekly chart. Very slow, but you know, you can do it in options. Is there gonna be more stimulus in the US? Is everyone gonna get a new check? NIU? Yeah, this started. Yeah, it's getting tighter. It's getting tighter. I like it. Higher lows. It's a very solid base here. Starting tomorrow, I would start watching it. Yeah, I agree. Jack Swagger, he's been with the T4 trades for a cause for a few years. Like, there's a lot of like market wizard material traders associated with that event. Like, I've been there. Like, why didn't it start there? Instead, it took some random prop firm in London. Like, what the fuck? I mean, those were okay traders, but market wizards, no. Why not buy NIU today? Why would you want to buy it today? When is the next one coming? Probably maybe in the next 10 years. I don't even know if I would want to be in the book. Okay, I would want to be in a market wizards book. But I would want it to be with real market wizards, not with mediocre. Not mediocre. I mean, they were all mostly good traders, but actually some of them were pretty mediocre. I'm not gonna lie. I was really disappointed, especially the last guy. What the fuck was he doing in the book? I mean, really? Yeah, I'm ranting. I'm so disappointed. Like, I looked so forward to read the book, to get some inspiration, but there was not much inspiration in that book. I'm gonna reread the old ones to get some inspiration. Because they're timeless. There's so many good traders in there. You know, guys that are like multi-billionaires today. That's pretty amazing. Yeah, Chris Camillo was different. He had a very good original way of finding stocks. But to be honest, I'm not sure he's a good trader. I guess we need a decent bear market to weed out the ones that are actually good traders and not just bull market surfers. Oh, Fubo is going. this thing is incredible revenue growth. And I know some smart people that I follow are kind of bullish on it. Maybe it can go to 50. Ross Cameron will be next one. What was the setup on Fubo? A basic breakout setup. A big move, orderly pullback, bounce off the 20-day, and then a breakout. Classic, just a classic setup. Like I go through this setup every single day, dozens of them. But you also kind of need the right stock. Like, I mean, I probably haven't talked about it enough, but you kind of need these, like it has to be in a hot sector. Like a lot of, you can also get these good setups. It's just a bunch of random stocks, but it's always good if you get them in these hyper growth stocks, like something like this, super hot product. To just, last quarter, revenue growth was 950%. That's incredible. You kind of need to be in the right stocks also, not just being some random good setup, but also right stocks. But you guys are gonna figure it out. You're gonna figure it out. Yeah, CS is going, yep. Yeah, you could have bought it here, opening range highs on the EP day, or you could have bought it like today, just as it, break over this 188 area or something like that. But was it that good of a setup? I don't know. I would have preferred it closer to the 20-day. Card G. Well, I have looked at it now. What am I supposed to see here? It's just one of these stocks that's just been straight up for the past few weeks. There's hundreds of them. MGNI. Yeah, if it can go sideways a bit more, tighten up a little bit. EOSC in a few days. Yeah, it looks good. It's getting really tight. Am I left or right-handed? Does it matter? I'm right-handed. CRNC yesterday breakout. Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't really a good setup. It's not really. It's an okay momentum stock, but I think there are. I mean, the growth isn't that good. If you have a growth stock setting up, I would recommend trading the growth stock, like something like this. It's just too random to me personally. I prefer to be either in a really hot sector or just in the growth names. Like most of these are growth names. This thing has triple digit, like if you just look at my portfolio, this thing has triple digit EPS and revenue growth. DraftKings, almost triple digit revenue growth. DQ, triple digit revenue and EPS growth. Well, actually last quarter it only had 50% revenue growth, but still 175% EPS growth. Fastly, 42% revenue growth. And also really hot sector with the what's it called? Same sector like network as a service. Peloton, look at this, triple digit EPS revenue growth. Zillow, a triple digit EPS growth. It actually had negative revenue growth, but it's still good momentum and stuff like that. TQQ is a Nasdaq ETF. Doku, triple digit EPS and mid double digit revenue growth. BLDP, well, it really doesn't have much growth or revenue growth, but it's a hot sector, fuel cells. Square, double-digit EPS and triple-digit revenue growth. BE, not much growth, but it's in a hot sector, fuel cells. Snap, triple-digit EPS growth, mid-double-digit sales growth. FNG, this is a FANG triple ETF. Futu, look at this. Quadruple. When market Smith says 999, it means 1,000 plus. They only have room for 3 digits. So quadruple digits, 1,000% plus EPS growth. That is insane as fuck. 276% revenue growth. Okay. Riot, this is a coin-related name. Fuel cell, hot sector, fuel cells. Duh. QS, like the hottest battery stock out there, and batteries are like the hottest sector out there. Fubo, 950% revenue growth. Okay, Mara, Coinstock, GBTC, Bitcoin ETF. EPS means earnings per share. It's year over year. Year over year. All these numbers are year over year. I get them from MarketSmith. I'm gonna show you like Fubo. This is like Fubo. They just launched their product or service or whatever it is. So now they're ramping up sales. Look at this thing. They went from like nothing to like 44, 61 million in sales. That's insane. Look at this Futu that I talked about. Look at the numbers on this thing. This is like insane. Look at these numbers. Crazy numbers. Crazy, absolutely crazy numbers. Something like Square. Like this is year over year. So last quarter had 36% EPS growth compared to the same quarter the year before, and 140% revenue growth compared to the same quarter the year before. And also you can see the estimates, right? So, you know, the estimates are also really important because you can have very high current growth, but if the estimates are, you know, gonna be down next year or the year after, there's no reason for the stock to go up. So the estimates are also very important. You also want rising estimates. And sometimes also stocks that don't have much growth right now, but they have high estimates, those stocks can also make big moves. I don't really have an example right now, but like AMD, this is the one I was really bullish on a couple of weeks ago, but then I kind of sold it just because it was a slow mover. But look at this thing. Look at the estimates. 92% EPS growth this year, 48% next year. And look at this, triple-digit EPS growth, mid-double-digit revenue growth. Like most things I buy, like you know, I rarely buy something like CRNC. It's just too random of a stock. Yes, it has good momentum and everything, but even if you get a good setup on a random stock, you know, it's probably not worth it. Especially if you can choose from like these growth stocks. Like if you have plenty of growth stocks and then you have some random stocks, focus on the growth stocks. Because earnings are fuel, okay? You need fuel. You need a reason for something to go up. Stocks don't go up just because there's a certain pattern to it, okay? You find the stocks that have a reason to go up, and then you look for patterns on those stocks. Because patterns are just something you know that can increase your odds of success and then can maximize your risk reward. You want to get all the randomness out of trading. You want an edge. If you want a big edge, you know, you kind of have to do these things. You don't have much room for error. You can't do random things. Yeah, Koifin is a free site. I use Koifin. I'm gonna show real quick. Just around. I'm gonna show like AMD. You can see the estimates. I actually use Koifin to see because you can't see revenue estimates in MarketSmith for some reason, but in Koifin you can. For this year, sales are expected to grow 42%, EPS 93%. Next year, sales are expected to grow 25%, EPS 48%, and then a year after 18 and 31. So you can see like the revenue and EPS estimates like 2 years in the future. So it's like obviously like it's not perfect, but I do think you can increase your odds pretty big. Now analysts are wrong a lot, but the big funds they kind of buy what their analysts are telling them to, So something that also increases your odds. Yeah, Nocco, yeah. Love it when I rant, yeah. Someone should record these like make clips of my rants. Like I have a lot of rants that are so good, but no one is recording them. No one is paying attention. SCPS IPO keeps on halting. Oh, I can't get the chart yet. At Domo. Yeah, I mean, yeah, SFIX too. Well, SFIX actually had quadruple digit EPS growth. But yeah, the revenue growth isn't that big. But I guess I have to look at the estimates. But yeah, pretty much like in the past 4 weeks, like there's so many random stocks that are straight up. Like you could have pretty much bought anything and you would have made money. That's like the type of market been in the past 4 weeks. Like everything is straight up. Pretty much everything. Not everything, but pretty much everything. My rants suck? David thinks my rants suck. Okay, thanks David. Thanks guys. And now obviously we are in a market environment where all these growth stocks are being rewarded. That's not always the case. Like growth stocks don't always outperform. They outperform most of the time. But I read research that, you know, like they outperform 60-70% of the time. So growth stocks are not always gonna outperform. But when they do, they do. Holy shit, they outperform big time. Am I okay giving up a big gain? Yeah, that's a tricky one because it depends on how extended it is. Depends. That's a tricky one because many times the ones that get extended, they really don't necessarily pull back a lot. Like I thought NVAX was extended, right? When I sold it this day here. Like I sold it near open on this day. It was straight up for 2 weeks. I bought it here on this flag break. It went up like 80% in like, I don't know, less than 2 weeks. And you know, the stock was like 25-30% above the 10-day, and I thought it was extended, right? I didn't want to give back any profit, so I sold it. It went sideways for like a week, and then it went up another 140%. So yeah, they're tricky. I'm gonna be patient with Mara and Riot. It's just Bitcoin is just breaking out of a multi-month flag. Like you can't look at the GBTC and Mara and Riot charts alone. You have to look at what Bitcoin is doing because they're following Bitcoin. And Bitcoin just broke out to new like it flagged below all-time highs. It made a big move, flagged for like a month, just below all-time highs, and then it broke out. Like I do think this thing, I do think it's gonna go to 30,000 or something before any like rest or pullback. I may be wrong, but you know. So I'm not really worried about Mara and Riot. Even though Mara is a little bit above the... Mara is actually more than 50% above the 10 days, so... But yeah, I'm gonna try to... hold them. Like these things could double, easily double from here, both Riot and Mara. If Bitcoin, you know, goes to 30,000, we'll see. It has to retest. Who said it has to? It doesn't have to do anything. It can, absolutely, but it doesn't have to. QS with a lower stop? What do you mean a lower stop? BITW on only a good setup. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I said. Yep. Or not exactly, but yeah, that's pretty much what I meant. Don't look for patterns. Look mainly for stocks that actually have a reasonable chance to keep going up. And you obviously need a combination of momentum and relative strength and something that's driving it. Maybe earnings, it may be a hot theme, you know, something like that. Keep out of random stocks. Keep out of random. Like most of the setup suggestions I get, like I'm not really super excited about them because they just, you know, they're just some random stocks that, you know, have momentum, and many of them don't even have momentum, and you know, low ADR and stuff like that. But you know, they can work anyways. But I think the best ones are, you know, something that has, you know, earnings. Yeah, yeah, younger stocks too. That's why I kind of passed on this Pinterest today, even though it did trigger. It's not really a young trend. But on the other hand, you know, NIO wasn't a young trend either when I bought it here. No, sorry, when I bought it here, right? NIO wasn't, and it wasn't a young trend when it triggered here on this flag break, right? And this just kept going and going. So, you know, extended stocks, they can be tricky because sometimes they can make big moves even though they're already extended. So yeah, it's tricky. You know, if it was easy, everyone would be doing successfully. It's tricky, very tricky. Do what you're comfortable with. Something like Shopify yesterday, something like that. You know, if I weren't in a bunch of other things, I would be very comfortable buying this. Like, you know, if you buy something like this, you know, coming out of a, you know, big momentum stock, coming out of a multi-month range, those things have a, you know, they're very, very good. You can hold them for many weeks and even months. And they can make very big moves. With some patience. But I do have some issues with patience, I'm not gonna lie. WNW is purely short driven. Where are the shorts? This thing just got listed. No one is shorting this thing. Um, I think it's just Robinhood crazies buying it. They don't realize it's up like 1400% in a few days. You know, people just buy random shit. I don't think there's any shorts in it. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know where people get it from. Just because a stock is making a big move, it's a short squeeze. It's short driven. Like it's like stocks can't go up because people are buying it for the sake of buying it. I don't get it. Short squeeze here, short squeeze there. There are very few legit short squeezes. Very few. It was a Ross bump. There you go. There are no shorts in it. It's Ross and his crazies buying it. There's no shorts in it. Dun, 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 dun. GP, hot sector, but the setup, not so much, I guess. I mean, maybe it could work if it breaks out. But yeah, this is something I would track, you know. Make a watch list with all these EV related, battery related stocks. I have a, you know, I have a shitload of them in my, I have 90 of them in my watch list. Keeping track of all of them. You have to, you know, you have to keep track of what's hot. If you want the big edge, you need to keep track of what's hot. Four. Nope, I don't like anything about this setup. It's a really bad setup. And it doesn't have a breakout today. It's just a random update. This is so wide, so loose and sloppy. This is so far from a good setup. It's not even in the same universe as a good setup. You should review the YouTube video to understand what's a good setup. MBAC? I don't know. What is this? It's well, it's a hot sector. Is the setup good? I mean, it could work. It did undercut the 20-day, and now it's kind of bouncing off. It could work, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not super excited about it. Yeah, I'm gonna quote myself. I'm gonna quote you quoting me. Is that okay? On Hither? On Twitter? Can I quote you quoting me? Oh man, it's too long. Let's see. I'm gonna modify it a little bit because it's a little bit too long, if it's okay for you. I'm gonna add, like, I also think Kalamagi is really handsome, has a great voice. Is that okay? Just kidding. I'm not gonna modify it that much. Okay. I can quote you, quoting me, quoting you, quoting me. Quoteception? Sure. Sono had a great breakout 2 days ago. Had a really good setup 2 days ago. Beautiful hairstyle? Yeah, I have the best hair. When you have bought Kirk, it had a great setup here. I know several in the stream bought it. Right here on this day had a great setup. And it's a double since. And it hasn't closed below the 10 days since. So, well, except for this day. But, you know, it was still below this, sorry, above this day here when it bounced off the 10 days. So it doesn't really count. This week there was no setup on Kirk. Yeah, Kirk, it's one of these. Oh my god, this thing is a. Wait, this thing was at 60 cents in March? Holy fuck! It was at 56 cents in March, and now it's 20 bucks. This thing has outperformed Tupperware. Tupperware was like buck 10 or something, buck 15, and then it went to like 38. Holy, I mean, yeah, some of these stocks that were priced for bankruptcy, they've done so well this, you know, since March. Unbelievable. Corsair, a good setup? No, nope, nope. Yeah, DraftKings is not as good as Shopify. No, I should have gotten into Shopify. I regret it. How many thousands of hours I've spent trading? I don't know. 10,000 plus? Luna is good. No, it needs more sideways. I think it needs to tighten up Roku. What I think of Roku, it's an extended stock up in the stratosphere. That's what I think of Roku. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, some of these names are weakening here. That Snapchat was a good buy on the breakout here. Already up like 32%. Pretty good. Now look at how it's surfing the 10-day. Like the 10 days. It's so important. Look at how it bounced off the 20-day here. Like the 10 and 20, they're so important for these growth stocks. Like look at Mara. Look at the 10-day and the 20-day, right? GBTC. Look at the 10 and the 20. Look at how it surfed the 10, bounced off the 20, bounced off the 20. Fubo. Look at how it surfed the 10 and bounced off the 20. Look at QS. Look at how it's surfing the 10-day. Look, Snapchat. Look how it's acting around the 10 and 20-day. Riot. Look at how it's acting around the 10 and 20. Square. Look at how it's surfing the 10 and 20. Look at this here. Look at how it's surfing the 10 and 20 all the way up. And here it found support on the 50. So 10, 20, and 50 are really important for these momentum stocks. You know, Zillow too. Look at how it surfed the 10 and 20. And the 50 also. You can trade these things so many ways. You just, you just have to work. This is why you need to study thousands of leading stocks from different market environments. They all act the same way pretty much. And then you can, once you learn how these things move, you can trade them in so many ways. You have to put in the work. You can't just do some random bullshit, put some bullshit indicators out there and think you're gonna make money. That's not how it works. If you don't know how stocks move, like how they're supposed to move in certain scenarios, no indicator is gonna help you. You need to learn how stocks move, and then you can use indicators as a guide. You're hiding the 10 and 20 because it's like cheating? Yeah. Yeah, some of these are setting up. Like they are flagging, getting tighter. AAL, UAL. It looks like it's kind of fading now, but they are on the 20, 10, and 20 day. Look at how they're surfing the 10 day. Look at the save. DAL, look at how it's on the 20-day resting here. BA, yeah. I'm not super excited about these things. Yeah, some of them are setting up. We'll see how they hold, but yeah. ACE UIF. Holy shit! What is this thing? It's a very illiquid OTC. Let's see, what is this thing? Is it some kind of equity ads? Oh, it's an advertising platform. Okay. What a move. Similar to TTD. Okay. Fastly has negative earnings growth. Yeah, but it's just one random quarter. Well, it doesn't have negative earnings growth. It's pretty much never had a profitable quarter, but look at how consistently it's growing the revenue. This is a classic like a software company. You know, in past 5 years, these types of stocks have made huge moves. The stocks that have no earnings but really good and consistent revenue growth. This has been working really. These types of stocks have been working really well over the past like 5 years. Like right now, we're in a market environment where the market doesn't give a shit about the earnings. And in some cases, the more money the company loses, the better. It's kind of funny. That's how it is. You gotta stick with what works. That's also something. You have to be aware, because that could change at any time. 2 years from now, we could be in a different market environment where market only wants to see earnings and doesn't care about high revenue growth with no earnings. So these things change. You have to be aware of what's working and what's not. Your job is to constantly, assess these things. You can't be set in your ways. You have to constantly adapt. Oh, QS. Oh, I'm gonna take a decent loss on this thing. 200K. Okay. It wasn't really like a 5-star setup, but I thought since it's a super high momentum company or stock, I thought it could work with this little short consolidation, just like it did here. Here also it only went sideways for a few days and then it doubled in a few days. But yeah, I think this time probably the 20 day needs to catch up, I guess. We'll see. DM as a bounce watch? What do you mean bounce watch? Where is it gonna bounce from? It looks like it's setting up a flag. I don't see a bounce set up there. It's setting up as a breakout, not a bounce. PLTR. It's setting up. I think this PLTR. I think it's gonna make a big move either way. Once it resolves out of this triangle. Right now it's too early to tell if it's gonna break down or break out. But whichever way it goes, I probably want to be in it since it's a very liquid stock, and this is one of the biggest momentum stocks right now. It's a liquid large cap, and those are always really nice to trade. And it's also a very technically friendly stock. You can just look at the daily and the 60-minute to see how clean the moves are. So I definitely want to be involved in it, but probably not today. But yeah, starting tomorrow, it's gonna be interesting to see. Liquid, it has a high dollar volume. THCB battery stock. Maybe I should set an alert on it if it's a battery stock. Hexas. Yeah, I don't know if I like the setup. AAL, it needs to break out of that range. That's it. And it could be a decent setup. But is it a great stock? Is it, is it gonna go much higher? I don't know. I'm very skeptical of these airlines. Yeah, thanks, Trader P. I'm gonna tell her that. NNOX. What I think about the company itself, I don't know anything about it. Some say it's the next great thing, some say it's fraud, I don't know. It's just unproven. I don't know. Don't really know much about the company. AA, I don't see a setup here. Or well, I see what you see. It bounced off the 20-day after big move. It's a commodity name. I hate commodity. They're so hard to trade. I would prefer this thing to go sideways at least a few weeks. It's just with like this X also, you know, let the 20-day catch up. Same thing with this FCX and CLF and all these commodity metals related stocks. SPR. Yeah, it's one of these setup. Looks really good. But yeah. I mean, this, yeah, it could work for like a short-term swing trade, absolutely. Net, I'm talking about net every day, it seems. It needs to go sideways a bit more. The 20-day needs to catch up, at least. Yeah, I know there you can see fundamentals in TC2000, but I trust MarketSmith more. I think TC2000, they just get it from some random vendor. I don't know how up to date the data is, etc. I trust MarketSmith way more because they have people actually look like they have better quality of the data. MarketSmith, oh sorry, TC2000. I don't trust the fundamental data. Amazon, what's wrong with it? There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Amazon is a very healthy stock. It looks like one of these launching pads where Elon Musk is gonna launch his Mars rocket from. Amazon looks absolutely amazing. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Microsoft also. This is what you want to launch your Mars rocket from. Nvidia too. This is type of structure you want to launch. You know, if you want to go to Mars, you want to launch a rocket from something like this. Just like Shopify yesterday, it looked exactly the same. And now it's already on the way to the moon. It's gonna surpass the moon and it's gonna go to Mars. All in Microsoft and Amazon. Did I say that? I did absolutely not say that. I day traded in the beginning. When I day trade, I could have my whole account in one stock intraday. Sometimes it worked really well, sometimes it worked really bad. I don't recommend it. I don't know. I day traded 3 years, maybe 4. I found this Twitter account. I'm gonna check this TikTok investors. I wanna get in the head of these crazies. Like when I started out, I didn't know anything, but I wasn't crazy. Like some people are literally crazy. I need to understand the mentality.
I really don't know what I'm doing. Can you tell me how much I owe and I'll just pay it? No, we can't do that. You have to figure out.
Oh, this is some parody. Oh, I think I'm gonna like one. If you are a millionaire, why sell a course? I already like this guy. I need to start from the beginning.
3 sentences or less. If you're a millionaire, why sell a course?
Okay. There was never like, okay. So the reason that I decided to sell a course was because I wanted to provide a course out there that provided so much.
Okay. Oh, I need to see this.
Jason, I'm so wrecked right now in Filecoin. Oh my god. So obviously, there's a lot of risk when you play with leverage. There's a lot of risk. So
No shit.
if you play with 50x, that means the game.
Wait. Is this guy on 50x leverage? Whoa, okay. Holy shit, okay.
Go up by 50x. If you go up 1%, with futures you go up 50%. So it's times 50.
So whatever you're trading goes 2.5%, no, sorry, 2% against you, you're wiped out. Okay.
But the losses are also 50x. It's times 50. And right now I'm wrecked. Filecoin, what do you do?
Okay. If you want to make money in the markets, you need to study crazy. Like these are retail investors, but also some institutional investors behave like this. You see it all the time. What the hell is this? She's basically explaining a bull market. This is pretty interesting. Is she gonna show the bat formation? No, she's only gonna show the bull and bear. I should teach her the bat formation. That's a very important one too. It's the bat is where the bull meets the bear, or sometimes when a bull meets another bull. That's where you get the bat formation.
Hey Xander, let me tell you a story. I need to be discreet about it, so let's call it Bitcoin. No, that's too obvious. Let's call it BitC. So one day the rich people wanted to be more rich. So they made this thing up called a BitC. And they convinced the non-rich people that one day it'd be worth over $100,000. So the non-rich people bought into it and made the rich people even more rich, even though it was completely made up. One day the non-rich people discovered it was completely made up, so the price started going down. So what did the rich people do? They bought it back at a discount. But then they posted articles on Forbes and Yahoo saying it was going to be worth $500,000. So the non-rich bought into it again, and the cycle of manipulation starts all over again.
Nice theory.
Gotta make their money, putting up at $162 trading again. They got as high as $195. They finished out the day at $185 per share. So here are a few companies that DoorDash is not worth more than. Best Buy, Walgreens.
Yeah. The guy using 50 times leverage, that got to me. Like, I had a guy writing to me on Twitch, also a crypto guy, I think. He was also using like 50 times leverage. He had a good run and then it blew up and he couldn't figure out what went wrong. I'm like, dude, you're using 50 times leverage. Maybe that's what went wrong. He asked me for advice, but that's not what he wanted to hear. He didn't want to hear that the 50 times leverage was the problem. He wanted some other secret. Crazy, crazy, crazy. 50 times leverage. Like, when I started out, I did some crazy, like, some pretty dumb things. Like, I went all in with my, I mean, it doesn't really matter if you have a tiny account, but, went all in a stock for a day trade. But I never used, but I've been always, like, very conservative in margin. Like, the most I've ever used is in a single instrument, it's been like 100% in one stock, only intraday. That was in really early in my trading. I pretty much never went to margin in a single stock. And then I see people using 50 times leverage on some things. It's unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Yeah, exactly. 50 times leverage doesn't work. Try 100 times. Fubo? What about Fubo? Yeah, it's doing what it's supposed to do in a bull market. How can I watch this garbage? It's only for educational purposes only. I need to get in the head. Like, guys, you have to understand, like, this is our competition. Like, this is our competition. You only have to be, like I'm telling you guys, you only have to be a little bit smarter than the average Robin Hooder, and you're gonna make millions. And even if you're a little bit smarter than that, you're gonna make tens of millions. That means you don't have to be very smart. You don't have to know a lot. It's more about knowing your limitations and understanding, like, that, if you don't understand why 50 times leverage is a bad thing, like, even without even knowing anything about trading or stock market, if you don't, like, intuitively understand why 50 times leverage is a bad thing, it's not really a good thing. It's not good. How much of the market is? No, not me. Yeah, it's a small amount. But the thing is, in certain stocks like Riot, Mara, majority of the volume is retail. But in something like, I don't know, Doku, I mean, there's barely any retail investors in something like this. But stuff like Fuel Cell, and these are mostly like retail driven. So it depends on the stock. Like these mega and large caps, not that much retail driven, most of them. But these micro and small caps, many of them can be majority retail driven. So it depends. It depends on the stock. Let's see.
The fucking gold mine.
Cam the Man? I don't know who Cam the Man is. Is it is it one of these pumpers?
Now, I do a lot of videos, and I've been preparing for this for a while, that the market's gonna crash. I'm right. The banks have no more money. You're gonna have to bear with me, you're gonna have to trust me. I'm gonna make a couple videos on this to truly explain why. I can't fit all this in a minute. Financial sector is at the lowest point it's ever been.
I bet you're saying the best. But if you roll a bet, you get out on 10 years.
she's funny.
Spend
That's
3
pretty
years
smart.
on the bet. But if you roll a bet, you get out on 10 years.
That's some pretty good financial advice. She's pretty smart. Some of these are actually pretty spot on. Not all of them are crazy. They're just playing along. Like, I think a lot of these people, they pretend to be crazy, but they kind of understand that, you know, it's not a healthy, really, like a healthy market. Or not a healthy market, but like some things going on are not healthy.
Alright, so Jeff Bezos' net worth is 185.3 billion dollars. Alright, so then there's 7.8 billion people on this earth. Alright, so let's do the math. His net worth is $185.3 billion. There's 7.8 billion people on this earth. If Jeff Bezos gave everybody on this earth $1 billion, he would still have $177 billion. Why do you still have it? I don't understand why.
That's some legit math right there. It's a quick math, yeah. You guys are saying things are going up again after that brief. Oh, Fubo! Holy shit! Fubo! Fubo! Right. Let's see. Square. Yeah. Yeah, most things look really good. So guys, TikTok investors, which ones are crazier, TikTok investors or Wall Street bets? Or is it the same crowd?
One of the pre-release Moderna vaccines for COVID. Here it is. There we go. So I'm going to take it now. I'll let you know how it goes. But I'm back. A couple of hours since I've taken the vaccine. All good. All feeling absolutely fine at the moment. So I just want to have a look at the euro. Right. So.
Whoa. That's what I call Star Wars.
Don't matter. The MACD matters. The alternate oscillator matters. The GAN fan is looking bullish.
He even had some small rocket ships. You see that?
Should really higher.
Oh damn. This guy's funny. It's obviously ironic. It's obviously ironic. He's actually pretty funny. So let me see. This guy Monaco Trader, he's adding like that's literally the worst short thesis ever. Like, this is literally what doesn't work in this market. Shorting something that has higher revenue growth and increased expenses. That's like literally the worst type of short thesis over the past 5 years. Like, and and this adding to a losing short. Oh man. Yeah. Okay, whatever. Monaco Trader, I think he's in Investors Live community. Like he's this rich guy. He sold a company, like a software company. He lives in a mansion, drives a Lamborghini. Like he seems to be a nice guy and all, but and he's like trading. Like he's obviously financially independent, and he's just trading for fun, I guess. But you know, I don't know. That Fubo short thesis wasn't really the strongest. Oh, okay, that was a what?
$50,000 from a $75 investment. Inside my crypto wallet, I have a coin called NPX, and I hold 499,000 of them. This is the price of that coin right now. Currently, I only have $75 invested, which got me 499,000 tokens. If this currency goes to just $1,
Oh, okay. I thought you already made that 375k. Okay, so TikTok investors are stock and like what, crypto, while Wall Street bets are options. Okay. Ladies, stop dating day traders. I need to listen to this.
You have to stop dating day traders, ladies. If a man says he's a day trader, cut it, go, you gotta leave. That's the same exact thing as them telling me that Wall Street's their favorite movie. It just makes me run in the opposite direction, and I encourage you all to do the same. That's not a career. I'm not saying he needs to have a career, but if his career is being a day trader, you fucking book it, bro.
Yeah. She'd rather date a guy with no career than date a day trader. That lady is great. She is. Does she have more great content? Wait, who is this? She has no Twitter profile. Oh, of course it's TikTok. Well, yeah, no, absolutely. 99% of all day traders, well, are gamblers. So she is making a very correct assumption. Yeah. You probably have it's probably a better bet dating someone with no career to date an aspiring day trader. It's true. Exactly. But what about swing traders? Does she want to date a swing trader? Chumia? Yeah, Chumia. Wait. I think it needs a few more days, right? Oh, yeah. Oh, man. This is setting up in a juicy way. It's building a high tide flag here. Oh, my God. In a few days. Oh, like this thing could... Well, you know, if it just can go sideways a few more days, let the 10 and 20 catch up, it's starting to look juicy. This is the type that can go to 60 in a flash. Go up 50, maybe even 100%, like in a flash. Yeah, especially in this type of a runaway market environment. Oh, wow, this is Fubo. Football. Fubo, football TV.
Okay, what do you do for a living? What do you do for a living? What do you do for a living? What do you happen to do for a living? What do you happen to do for a living? Carpenter? Cool. Hello. What do you happen to do for a living? I'm a carpenter. Oh, she was too over there. Oh, that's awesome. What do you guys happen to do? What do you guys happen to do for a living?
Fuck you. But that was not investing related. What the fuck is that? Josh Brown. Addicted. I'm just looking through these TikTok investors channel because I'm bored. I saw on Twitter that Elon Musk is disappointed in Cyberpunk. I'm not surprised because he played it on PS4 and the PS4 version is really bad. He should get a PC, a gaming PC. I think he can afford it. He is a PC gamer? Didn't he say it ran really bad on his PS4? Or maybe I saw that. Maybe it was like one of these screenshotted tweets or something. Oh, PLTR. Oh, PLTR. I mean, it looks really good on the long side, to be honest. Man, there's so many things. I mean, this is like... You can literally throw a dart. There's so many things going up. Not everything is going straight up. Some things are. Some things need a little bit of time. But overall, like... Man. You think it's glitchy? I haven't. I mean, there's some small things here and there, but it hasn't really affected my experience. He plays Overwatch in a theater. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, his son posted someone else's. Okay. I'm gonna do one more scan, then I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. Ba-ba-bum. I have better things to do than watch a bunch of tickers move up and down. Mostly up, to be honest, since that's the type of market we're in, but... Trim and trail, that's the key. Your job is to position yourself correctly into these types of runs, and then you just trim and trail. Before you know it, you had doubled or tripled your account. Man, this NXTD, that 87 break, 88th break yesterday, late day, that kind of should have bought like a couple of million shares, I guess. No. I was too afraid of the commissions. What's the flagging thing? I just marked the stocks I've gone through, so I don't have to look at them again. CRYX. CYRX? No. Too random. Yeah, there's a lot of gold here. Sometimes. MGNI? Nah, I don't know. Maybe if it tightens up a little bit. Yeah, I just said it. PLTR looks really good on the long side. It's just bounced off the 20-day. I like it. I just don't have the buying power to trade it right now. I mean, so many things. MRTX. Yeah, it's a slow one. 3.5 ADR. You don't have to trade this thing. Like, ever. Alright, guys. Hope you found the stream helpful. And thanks for joining, and see you tomorrow. Good luck.